Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram. This is fucking Talkin Shit with Eagle 460.5. Wormhole. Hopefully you guys have had a great fucking last few days. I've been ups and downs. I can't complain though. Happy to be here. Love me some Mark these days. I don't know what it is. I think he writes these songs directly out of my dome sometimes. Southern BT grower hillbilly Earn. Cheers, how are you? Ohio Captain Dane, cheers. Captain 420, how are you? Oh, sorry. Roll up Patty. Clean up this tray. I'll taste this time. Cheers, Southern. I believe Johnny Candy Seed said he was popping on. Yeah. Hopefully fucking YouTube won't hit me too hard for the merch. They're usually pretty lenient with merch. What about Bob? James the Weavers in the house. TK, cheers, how you doing? Check out Snake the Rapper. New backyard concert. I do like Snake the Rapper too. Kind of fun. What are some of your favorite sit back and smoke artists and songs? It takes his time. Burning you guys' ears. Stu Move, great morning, brother. Must change my mind. Fuck yeah. Fucking rolling up some of these roses. I don't care. I smoke them. Break them down, smoke them. No waste in here. No waste. No. Missed you guys last couple of days, but I've been busy. Getting some things caught up. Still not caught up. Still got a lot of trimming to do. Get another fucking some more chlumium to take down. Boy, I'd love to talk a little bit of terps with somebody. I think I've got a few questions there. I'd like to hear Cascadian's opinion on some terps. Wanted to ask him why he was in chat of the last show, but I did not. Cascadian Grown, if you're listening, I have questions for you, my friend. Or I'd like to hear your opinion at least. Oh, this is a good tune right here. I just picked this one up there the other day. The Teasley Brothers, or the Teasley Brothers, featuring the Bahamas. Song's called I Get Up. Great tune. Oh, Zindica. Cheers to you. Hello. Plays daily. Orange Terps chase. Orange Terps save lives. I don't know if I can agree 100 with that, but they're pretty decent. I think I got about enough for a fatty lined up there. Limonene, one of my favorites too. That's a good one for good mood. I used to fucking he was the Terpinator way back in the day. Fucking put limonene in everything. Very noticeable. Damn, that's some good music right there. Makes me wish we were at like a fucking blues festival. Hanging out, blazing some fucking fatties. Much like the one I'm fixing to roll up. Right here. Good tune, Captain. And I used to take my girls, my oldest two, back to the blues festival, Flint, Michigan, Kersley Park. Nice place, man. It was like a bowl for a park. They'd play at fucking bottom of the hill and you just sit there around the bowl. Music blasting out. Oh, good days. Good days. Starting to pass this kind of music down to my kids. I think it's pretty cool when I look over and I see them fucking kind of. I think to myself, yeah, let it seep in. Let it seep in. Oh, man. These shows make me miss we used to do this. Stay on top. Damn, let's go. I listen to a little bit of anything. Mr. Bing is popping in. What's up, Vegas? How you doing? Yeah, we need to find some stuff like that. We could just.
There we go. I got to get the right. Now I can hear you. How you been, man?
I was just saying, good. I wish we could have some music like that we could play in the back.
It is kind of an. Seems like there should be a feature like that, huh?
Oh, hell yeah! They would give it that more like, these things are nice. You know what I mean? You can have a somewhat personal chat, amongst friends. The panel type shows, but it would be nice to add the music and give it that like we're sitting in the living room kind of like feel. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I know occasionally when I go live, I use my mic. I don't put the headphones on and I play background music, and it does add a nice little, I don't know, appeal, I guess.
Ambiance, maybe.
Ambiance, yes. Greetings, chat. Good to see everybody out there in Chatland. Thank you for joining. Eagle and I'm just gonna come up here for a minute. It's been bloody hot, dude. In Oregon, we've got a real heat wave, well over 100 degrees today. So it kind of slows everything down, you know what I mean? Trying to get my car worked on. And it's been in the shop now for 2 days just to get a minor thing fixed. And I called him today. He's like, hello. I'm like, oh, shit. How you doing? He's like, it's hot. And I'm like, I'm sorry. First thing I'm sorry. I'll be on it first thing in the morning. That's cool. Like, all right, buddy, no problem. But it does. We used to have hot weather in Oregon prior to these recent times. Maybe not quite as hot, but I don't remember it shutting everything down. There's businesses that refuse to open. Just like, really interesting, you know. And I do know heat can be quite the disabler, but things are different. Things are really a lot different. And I'm hearing this is going to be one of the cooler summers for Oregon because it's going to start getting hotter and hotter. So I'm going to have to rethink my air conditioning needs here, I think. How's things in Michigan? Are you guys heating up? Good.
It's kind of heating up here in Michigan. Not terrible. You guys can keep that major heat over there.
Sure.
But maybe, does this make any sense as far as like putting things out of like commission from the heat? Because yeah, it's
Does
hot, but fuck, I framed some houses in much hotter weather than
I I
this.
I don't
Is
remember
it
it
something to
disabled.
do that it could be just more intense? That sun's just more intense. Yeah, that's what it feels like, man. Like, it's hot, but when you get out there in that sun, man, it feels like, like you're under like a fucking warming light or some shit, man.
The I have noticed that when I look at the sun, which I don't really just directly look at it, but it's not yellow anymore. It's white, and there is, and I don't know. I'm not a scientist or anything like that, but I have heard that we're moving into a different part of the galaxy, and so the sun is moving where the sun's pulling us towards the center of the Milky Way, basically. And I imagine over time, they're going to hit different parts of the galaxy that are going to emit certain different frequencies or rays, or the sun's going to react differently. The heating and the cooling, of course, that's another big thing. The Earth's warming up. No, it's not. It's cooling down. I don't know. I mean, it's bloody hot. I can tell you that much. And I can understand uh, people, not wanting to work, but I don't remember it being this devastating. So there's something that's, I can't really put my finger on it, but I think you're kind of alluding to it. I think the sun's emitting a different energy, you know. Chad goes, I like fingers going in her stuff. Chad Westport. Uh yeah, I try not to go too far out there, but I do have a tendency to hit out in that left field area.
You're exactly right. I think we may have watched. I watched a YouTube thing the other day on the color of the sun changing from what we're used to. Another thing I took away from that was how much green light the sun emits that our suns don't catch, our eyes don't catch. But it was like what 60% of the light emitted from the sun was in the green spectrum. And then it was kind of funny that I had just watched that, and then I had watched the the Future Cannabis Project solo conversation with the Don Hibbert. Probably saying that wrong both ways, but with Hardy Gears, Smiley was on there, Brandon Rust, and Alex Hardy was talking about how we're starting to understand that the plants are utilizing more green spectrum and actually isn't, it's penetrating much deeper in the plant than we ever thought it was. But he was explaining a lot more into it. I just thought that was coincidental how, like, we just when we think we've got it, we've got a game plan, you know, here comes along. Oh, fucking greens, man, the greens. You know what I mean? It's cool that we're still evolving.
Uh yeah. I took my the biggest blackberry that I play with, and I put it outdoors in a small pot, kind of hidden out of the view of people. I'm trying to kind of give it a little more vigor. But man, it's just like going, fuck this, man. It's too hot out here. So I had to put her in the shade and kind of make sure I'm watering her. But
Sure.
hey, Robert, Something's going on. I there's a lot of shit going on in the world, period. So it just might be part of the overall change of Earth. Great interview tonight, by the way, with your guest, Yaka, right? I've been watching him on IG. And
It's all good to be back on, have a guest, and get back into that 11:30 time slot. You know, some good folks in chat. I think it was Mr. Dirt Road Dude to be exact. It was like we miss the 11:30 tee off. That's what got things started. And like a good friend, I know take it for what it's worth. I'm not picking on anybody, but I do appreciate, people when they point things out like that. You know what I mean? It is one of the things that got the show started, got people, into what I was doing here, then turned my back on the tee off, the basics, the fundamentals. It's kind of shitty.
hey, dude,
So
you're
I appreciate it.
you're hitting on a subject that I've been kind of talking about recently as well, is we kind of lose track of what gets things going. You know what I mean? It's like the wheels going, right? Like you're pushing the ball, you're doing the basics, right? Get the ball rolling, the ball starts rolling, and it's like, all right, you kind of sit back and you relax, right? And you lose track of the effort that it took to get that momentum, right? And so yeah, it's and plus I'm a big fan of constructive criticism. Um, I think it really shows a degree of maturity if you can listen to someone critique in a positive way of what's going on. I often will ask people, how am I doing? Like if there's something I'm doing important with someone, it requires human interaction. I get so wrapped up in things a lot that I will just hang on. How am I doing? It's like many people just like, well, great, or what, you okay? Or like, no, I just want to know, how am I doing? Is everything going the way it should? And because, dude, we get so wrapped up. At least me, I'm a very emotional being, and so I'll get wrapped up in my emotions, and I'll lose track of the center line real quick. But then I have people like Red Pill. What's up, Red Pill? Come and put me right back on track. You know?
Hello, how's it going?
Good, buddy.
Nice to see
So,
you.
green light, huh? Fascinating, right?
Works for me at the stop sign, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot about it. I mean, it's the same in the same way, like you said, you can't really see it, or you wouldn't think that unless you were showed that or learned it. I think it can help add to spectrum too. I mean, it's kind of some lights nowadays kind of look different, where you see a graph of how they graph what spectrum it is. But for a long time, it was always like a small peak in the blue and then another little bit bigger peak in the red. And then there's just pretty much nothing in the middle. And when you look at that graph for sunlight, it's the complete opposite. There isn't one or two or three different peaks. It's all just one straight up mountain where the peak is highest, right in the green range. So I don't know what you have to do to a light to make it. It's kind of, if you do a LED light, can't really make two colors come out of one diode simultaneously. You got to like really pack in tight different color diodes to kind of make them all merge together. But yeah, I guess maybe it's just because we're in the time of we're not seeing lights being engineered at the peak of which they're going to be engineered someday. But I don't know what you got to do to make it literally, maybe it won't be as powerful as the sun, but there's no reason why we can't manufacture a spectrum to match it.
I do notice that the way they are positioning the LEDs are changing. There's like different distances between different fixtures. And I'm sure that has something to do with the spectrum. So Southern, everyone looks, dude, everyone looks like my kid. Well, you know, in my younger days, my friend, I did get around quite a bit. So I have 3 sons that I know of. That was a joke. Everyone looks like my son.
I know a lot of people, you know, now we kind of look back on the blurple lights and
Yeah.
we kind of like reconsider what those were. But now in the future, I'm thinking lights are probably not going to look white to our eyes. Might someday, no, even though people think, you know, green light is what you use at night, keep plants asleep, might be some type of day where we have some type of plasma lighting or different source of or different capabilities of LEDs. And LEDs are already efficient, and the only thing that, you know, stops it is the heat involved in the release of energy. But I don't know. I'm envisioning someday where you walk into a grow room and it's like bright, intense green light.
We're still learning
I'm
about the
hoping
light spectrum for sure. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm hoping or envisioning a time where we have like more wireless power and plasma lights will be more of a thing and more utilized at that point. Yeah, so might be a ways out. That's the way I see it. And you know, we're coming closer and closer all the time to Tesla's vision of, you know, wireless energy. You see more and more shit that fucking is wireless or can charge wires wirelessly. You know, it isn't. We're not far off before
Mhm.
we're gonna just hang fixtures, and you know they can just draw what they need. And at that point, I think we'll be on the close, if there or if not close to the 0 point energy. So it won't, you know, the draw of the plasma light will be like
Mhm.
whatever. It'll just be more. That's what we need.
And there's a little bit too of the future, and other than weather being a problem, there might be a time to consider why are we growing indoor weed in the first place, and trying to mimic the sun when we can go out there and grow with the sun in an
Exactly.
ideal
Yeah.
future.
Dude, that's a good point. But Bill, I mean, because of the laws, we were forced indoor, right? And why compete with the sun when it's right there?
Right.
I mean, good point.
I mean,
I justify it like this: is, you know, if we can utilize some of our footprint indoors for some of our lazy needs, cannabis, you know, some fruits, vegetables, or whatever, and then leave, you know, the rest of the footprint on Earth for whatever it needs. You know what I mean?
mhm.
It's like using our space within our space. I can see it to a point. Yes, could we utilize more of the sun's energy, but could we use it for foods or fuels? I mean, look at the age we're coming into now where, you know, cannabis could be used for, you know, whatever. Uh, so we're going to need to grow more things. Not if we, the more we come away from phosphorus, fossil fuels and such minerals we're pulling from the earth, the more we have to grow to sustain ourselves. If our building materials are coming from cannabis, that's a lot of cannabis. Well, we're also going to have to grow our foods and other things. And we're already starting to know that, you know, we're probably better off just eating the plant or plant-based anyway. So, you know, we might as well save as much of that area as we can for foods and whatnot. So if our why not take our greedy needs indoors for, you know, cannabis or like sin grows almost at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Take our
I think
dirty
there's
habit indoors and
there's
utilize the footprint.
I think there's always definitely be both. I think the footprint problem is a domestication of people problem. People reliant on going to grocery stores. If everyone, it's you can see if you look up growing microgreens or having just really small home gardens and how productive they can be. Not enough people are really growing their own foods and doing that. So the footprint thing, I think, is a waste of space just because people either lost that skill or are too lazy to do it or think it's impossible or too much to get started. Yeah. The how much space it takes to do things, I think, is kind of silly when we can really do it from home. First place, you can sustain even like on a fifth of an acre. You can grow enough food to sustain yourself year round. So,
What's up, Green 13?
What's up, brother? What are we talking about? Food,
Yeah.
growing.
we're talking about a big, broad subject now. I think we started talking about lights. Now we're talking about feeding humanity.
I'm fixing to throw one more into the fire too. Fucking, you know what I seen the other day at Walmart that I want to fucking grow? I just haven't figured out where I'm gonna put it yet. Is you can get fucking redwood like seeds to plant like a redwood tree. How cool would that be to fucking plant something that hopefully will be there for?
It gets out of your control, it just destroys your house, and now there's a redwood tree where your house once was.
Be worth it. It'd be worth it to leave a fucking giant monument in my place. Oh yeah, take
Yeah.
it out. Take
That
it out.
would be cool. That would be cool.
I'll meet you at Eagle's Tree. We can carve our names in it.
No, it's not a way to go wasting redwood seeds by not growing them. But I have heard there's a lot of medicinal. Why did I have like before I said that, like a guilt associated with that?
It's not
But-
rhino horn, bruv.
Yeah, you could redwood seed oil, and I think the whatever the cake from it, that's all like really good for you. It's got of course properties that only it has and that kind of thing. So yeah, go ahead and sprout a couple, but then I don't know, make a extract. You
What are we doing? Dabbing it.
I don't know. That might be a little nasty. I would just put it in some capsules.
Can you
I don't
imagine
know.
can you imagine having two redwood trees, right? You start them off next to each other and then start intertwining them as they grew. You have this huge knot of two trees growing up. I wonder if somewhere in the world that's probably happened, I imagine. Like 100 years from now, there's mama and daddy redwood still going at it.
I haven't seen it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's happening. But there's some of them that are all like just the skeleton of themselves, and they're hollow. You ever see hollow trees go inside one? I'm sure there's a tree going within a tree. That's got to be out there.
True.
Baby tree growing in the mama tree.
There'd be some beautiful wood pattern in the fuckers once they twirled up like that. That's how they get say the bird's-eyed maple. You ever seen a bird's-eyed maple? Like a piece of lumber?
Yes.
Do you know how that's formed?
You're going to tell me. No, I don't.
I'm gonna tell you. That's from like a bunch of small saplings that's grown together in a tight area. And as they grow older, they'll form one uniform tree after they, basically that swell to come up with one trunk. And that's, that swell is basically all them bird's eyes are saplings, that once stood, that were basically trees that were
I never knew that.
part of the stump.
I'm into wood
That's why
too. I
they're
never
so
knew
hard to
that.
find.
Never knew that. I had a slab of bird's eye maple that I saved for years and years and years, and it kind of disappeared again when I got a divorce. But I never knew that either. That's good information, actually. I know quarter sawn like oak and things like that. I mean, there's some beautiful patterns. Even some of the heartwood type cedars, and I've even seen poplar. That's kind of interesting. So it's, dude, don't get me down the wood trail because I got it in my veins, buddy. I mean, if I was
one of my favorites is quilted. You ever seen that like a quilted pattern in the maple? It's kind of got the lines they through it. That's one of my favorite.
we would you could buy veneer, right? That was basically, or not veneer, 1/4-inch plywood that was book matched, right? And man, that would make great paneling for like a library and things like that. It's just beautiful. Yeah. Robert's got his wood grinder and everything. I like
It's a
working with wood.
heartbreaking moment, Vegas, when the cannabis took over the wood shop. Because it happened. It was a thing. The cannabis did take over the wood shop.
It happened for me yesterday. I have to store so much dry amendments and shit now. I've had to clean out my woodshed yesterday and pile up all my fucking lovely wood. My wife's over the fucking moon outside. And I said, I'm not bringing it back in. She said, can we burn it? I said, it's outside wood now. We don't have to just burn it. It can be for jobs outdoors. All right, I get a can, we'll burn it. She doesn't talk like that, really.
I wish. I mean, dude, if I had a wood shop, I wouldn't have time to grow weed. I mean, you have to choose your stuff. I mean, I'd be in the wood shop making shit all fucking day. I mean, that's just how I am.
Making shit to put in the fucking grow room.
A furniture grade lattice work that fits into your tent. I love working with wood. That's why one of the reasons I got rid of all my tools, to be quite frank, because I didn't have room to use them, and people would always borrow them and fuck them up, and it just got to be, plus I needed the money at the time. But I
love working with wood.
I have a garage. I've toyed with the idea, but I'm just like, by the time I get done with my garden every day, I'm thinking, well, what amount of time would you have to be in the wood shop making shit? Of course, it would come handy. It comes in handy, man. I mean, little things happen. It's like, oh, let me just go make something real quick. And it works,
In there, I had a couple half-made things. Like, they're not actually anything, but because they were squared up properly and like properly screwed together, I'm like, I keep that. That might be the start of something else.
Absolutely. That's a wood shop, and you always have it full of all kinds of started shit or bits and pieces of things that were finished, and
Prototype one, and yeah.
When I worked at the millwork facility that turned into a door plant, basically, we started with making custom doors, and they were expensive to make because we would make at least two, and the second one would always be far superior than the first one, and people never quite understood that, and we'd offer them both to the customer, like, you can have both doors if you want, but they'd always say, you can keep the first one. Because the second one would always turn out so much better. And but that's just custom woodworking, period. You have to do it a few times before you get it down to the art form that it really is. Don't get me on this, guys. Fuck.
It's a true story, mate. Yeah, before I even got out of bed this morning, I was working on a little thing for the door baffles, for the doors I'm about to cut. And like, I've done a bunch of them now. So I was like, I might just do wider baffles because then I don't have to double baffle them on both sections because they're really wide and the light won't get through. So yeah, it's like you say, man.
Yeah. This is the best version I've come up with today.
Yeah. Listen, I said to my missus, I'm like, if I just wait here 5 minutes, I'll work out a solution where I already have the parts. And we don't have to go to the fucking hardware store. Hold on, let me just think.
Yeah, it's just like growing too. I mean, I have certain creations or strains that I'm thinking, man, this is staying in my garden forever until the next better strain comes in and wedges it out, you know. So it's just change, I think, is the only really consistent thing in life. Period. Everything's always changing.
I mean, that's a really true statement. Yeah, it's the only really consistent thing in life because, yeah, as much as you try hard to keep shit the same, it ain't.
Got to be light on your feet. Got to be quick on your feet. You know?
It's a bit late for that.
For me, it is. I got to be honest.
No, whoa, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. But yeah, I mean,
It is. I used to be able to dance and do all kinds of shit, and I'm just like, fuck. Stumble getting out of my desk in the morning, or trying to put my shoes on. I'm like, what the fuck? When did putting my shoes on become such a struggle? It's like,
I make noises now when I move around. What the fuck? You didn't even lift anything.
Doesn't want to hear old man shit, that's for sure. But it's going to happen to you too. Just saying.
Yeah, red pill.
I was just thinking some people get offended if you make those sound and there's no reason to.
Flatulence comes a lot more freely as well. Just letting you know. All of a sudden you're taking a piss and like, wow, I didn't see that one coming. So,
I knew my days were numbered on the framing crew when every time I bent over, I had to do this.
And it's even surprising to you. You're like, what the fuck, Eagle? Quiet down, dude. Where'd that come from?
I think I have a great hobby, and I love growing cannabis, and you can do it. I think even disabled people can grow cannabis. Pretty much anybody can grow cannabis. You know what I mean? If you really want to do it, you can do it. And everybody gets into the details of how. Dude, just do it. You'll figure something out, dude.
So I was wandering off there. I know we've strayed from the woodworking topic, but I just wanted to show you this here. This is one of the things I used to fart around and make in my wood shop here. This is actually this is a walnut with a Brazilian cherry core.
Oh, nice.
And this is a business card holder.
I like that.
I used to actually has one of my business cards in it.
You're shaming us, brother. Damn. That's
Beautiful.
pretty.
No, that's
so they fit in your pocket, and you could either put it in your pocket like a little wallet, or you could fold it back and let it sit on your desk if you were a desk type person, yay. You know what I mean? Hand
very
a
nice.
little bit
Very
there.
nice. Very nice.
That would live in my car, so I've always got a card with me.
That's awesome. Delicate, high quality objects. I love that. It's art. It's truly art, and it's heirloom stuff that you can hand down to your youngsters. Yeah.
I changed the shape of my business card now. They're tubular form like this.
Dude, that's a smoking.
No words. Yeah.
Smoking.
I try to keep hold of them these days, though. I don't give them away as much as I used to with business cards.
Oh, yeah. Right on. Well, it looks like it's down to 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Very nice. It's only after midnight here in Oregon.
Wow, that's hot, brother.
Yeah, it is. We're supposed to get down to 81 here in the next hour. So it's starting to dive. Looking at the weather forecast here.
And it's going right back up.
Yeah, it will tomorrow. So, and I had this new central air conditioner put in by my landlord, and it doesn't work near as good as the first one that blew up. And I'm debating, is it the air conditioner, or is it just the fact that it's so hot? And I have a north-south horizontal lot where I get straight, east and west sun, But then I'm thinking, hang on a second. The old one worked fine. This one, not so much. So again, I have to ask myself, is it the air conditioner or is it the weather? So I think I would have, if it was my house.
I think it's the aircon, dude. If the aircon's good enough, it should just eat the weather, especially a new one, man.
Yeah, that's what I think.
My new one eats. I really fucking on it.
So I'm gonna have a talk with my good friend, the landlord, and say, hey, what's up? Because if it's gonna start getting hotter and hotter, I'll have this one broken by next summer easy. Don't like the heat.
It's a different heat. I still think it's a different heat. I still think it's a different heat.
Yeah.
I think it's like there's like almost two different things going on. There's temperature, what we're surrounded with, the whatever heat, humidity that is. And I feel like there's almost like a microwave that it's heating up us as objects. So we're heating up as you go up, we're individually heating up. The surface and everything else isn't heating up, but us as we go out, it's like, holy shit, man, did you feel that? You know what I mean? Like something instantly hits you, makes you hotter. That's what I feel.
There's something to be said for that, I think. Spiky, good to hear, buddy.
Radiant heat.
Radiant. Something's different.
I don't know what you guys are talking about with heat. It's been 65 in my house since April.
And he's got crickets in the background. That's
damn right. You wouldn't know it was me if you didn't hear my voice.
That's awesome. Dude, those are loud crickets.
Yeah.
I like it.
You hear them crickets, shut the door.
Them crickets are like 10 eagle bollocks.
See, I've tried everything to get rid of these damn things. The last thing I got left to try is burning the whole damn tree down. And I don't want to do that because it's overhanging the house.
We'll just create another issue of some sort. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they did cancel my fire insurance for living in a fire zone, so don't need to start the house on fire. Yeah, if anybody out there has a proven method of getting rid of 400 million crickets, I'm all ears.
So that's not just one really big cricket, that's 400 little crickets.
In unison.
Yeah, that's a tree full of crickets. And this tree is probably, I'm going to say 60 feet tall and probably 65, 70 feet wide.
It's a big old tree.
He's lying, Red Pill. Next to him, there's a giant cricket.
No,
Dude, yeah, I got like Godzilla the cricket over here.
It's your own chorus section. It's nice.
Remarkably.
It actually sounds like a gym coach with one of them little whistles, just repeatedly.
Rowing. Oh, you motherfuckers are going fast, though. You rode pretty fast. Here.
I can hear them in the house.
In a choir-like form.
Get them some drums, a little bass. Yeah, they're a little annoying. At least they're not in the house, though.
Dude, I almost, when I put up the update, I almost put it. They had like a cricket ending. It wasn't a song. It was like Night of the Cricket. It was like 3 minutes long, and I was like, oh, I almost edited that video with a bunch of crickets just for fun. It's funny there's a recording of crickets.
I recorded the crickets on my phone, so when I'm like hanging out with the boys or something, and somebody will say something dumb and it gets quiet, I'll just real quickly, start playing that.
That would be a good answering machine message. Hello?
Like
Crickets.
owl.
Hello? It's just crickets.
I'll tell you what, if I ever win the lotto, that's going to be my voicemail when you call my phone. That's all you're going to hear.
Think about that. That'd be funny. Yeah. I used to leave a message. I can't remember. It was pretty good where basically it'd be like, hello? What's the message, right? And they'd start talking, and then I'd say, oh, by the way, I'm not here right now. You've reached my answering machine. Right? But they'd already be into their, like, hey, how you doing, man? Oh, I'm really not here right now, but actually, I don't know why I'm going that way. I like the cricket idea better.
Lost, or are you? And things get me every time. Hey, I'm biggest. Or whatever. You get into like halfway through a sentence and then you start talking again. It's like, man, I gotta do this whole thing over again.
Hello? Just pause and like, oh, really? Just don't say. I mean, dude, you could have a whole conversation with a guy before you even knew it was an answering machine. I might just do that. In fact.
See, what you got to kind of do is like, kind of deepen your voice a little bit when you're doing that outgoing message on the machine and kind of, yeah, hello. And, kind of talk like that as they're thinking you're talking to them. Then about 45 seconds in, flush the toilet.
SoCal's voice is so deep that when he goes to do a deep voice, it actually gets higher pitch.
I get a lot of advertising calls where they're like, your insurance this or your student loan that, or, oh, hey, by the way, your Social Security's been canceled, this type of shit, right? So when I know it's a number I don't see, I answer the phone, Special Agent Brown. It's like crickets on the other end.
So, Bangus, do you think you could update the phone message to current times? Like, do you think you could get away with like pre-recording, like say said message in front of this very same back screen that you have right now? Just sit at home one day out of the blue and just go, yeah. Just every so often go, yep. And then just for funsies, put it in your virtual background and then cover the camera so that like that's in the background, you know what I mean? Just to see if anybody picks up on it, that you're just like,
Bingus is quiet today.
yeah. It'd be funny to see how long it would go before somebody would say something.
Dude, you're kind of a mischievous little guy there, I think there, Eagle. Good one. You give me thoughts here. You could do a whole live stream like that, just pre-recorded. Hey, come on in. Join. What are you guys smoking on? Cool. Just do the whole fucking thing like that. Oh my God, that'd be funny. People start asking questions. Oh, I saw a question in chat. I'll get right back to you on that. Why? What are you smoking on? I mean, really play that. That'd be fun, actually. Again, see, you're planting these things into my mind. Thank you.
It's a crazy place in this head, Vegas. It's a crazy place in this head.
Do anything different nowadays, I think, is a good change. You know, I'm afraid to put up a video on YouTube anymore. Shit. I've been doing these little 1-minute videos for IG and things a lot easier to do. And I don't get any shit from IG. You guys get problems from IG at all? You do?
Yeah, I got fucking deleted from IG.
Oh. Duh. That's right. Fuck, I forgot about that.
The one thing that truly screws me is putting hashtags in my description. For some reason, I've just decided to not do it at all now. It just fucks me. In fact, looking at the numbers, I don't even know if hashtags are worth it at all.
I don't use them on IG. I do use them on YouTube. Actually, YouTube, I can utilize search engine optimization techniques and get a lot more views. And the key way is those hashtags are your keywords, right? And then you write an article underneath about 300 words with those keywords in there. And so now you have a web page that's been search engine optimized. So when people type in their search, the algorithm will grab it. And I've been doing that for well over a year now. It seems to be working real well. But when they age restrict it, it fucks all that shit up. Right? Because the people have to join YouTube before they can even see your goddamn video. So I never click age restricted, but YouTube loves to come in and say, oh, you know, I think enough people have seen you, you know, and you're not monetizing, so we're not making any money off you. So we're going to age restrict you, you know, and then just the views just level off. You know, it's like, oh, okay, thanks. So I don't know. There's supposed to be a rhyme or reason to all this shit, but basically, I'm guessing, just like the next guy, like there's courses you can take on how to search engine optimize your YouTube page. And
Yeah.
Sometimes it works.
If you
sometimes it
use the
doesn't.
word cannabis a lot, it doesn't matter how much you optimize it, they're always going to fuck with you.
That's my point. Thank you. I could have shortened that whole mind thought. You're right.
Yeah.
Cheers to Dark Horse Genetic in chat. Cheers, my friend.
You know, it's not
Yeah,
just
I was just gonna plug this show just in case you don't. He could get on. By the way, Dark Horse Genetics.
One of my
I'm just saying he does have a cool show. I'm sorry, Bingus. On Wednesday nights. Check it out.
One of my favorite interviews, because the guy is so real about his experience. So good to you, sir. I've watched that interview more than once. Yeah.
What's that show called, Eagle?
I'm pretty sure it's just Dark Horse Genetics.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a name. It's on his channel on Wednesdays. Just had a good one. Interview this last week.
Some good stories. I like a good story, you know. He had some good ones. So
I like the whole story behind the Dark Horse.
exactly.
All right, now I'm done cutting everybody off.
I'm the worst at that.
I've been
so don't feel
terrible.
bad. Yeah. It's-
I like it when you do it,
Well-
Eagle. You're daddy anyway. You're in the middle today, and you're daddy. So if you decide, right, fucking you lot, quiet a minute, that's quite all right, isn't it?
Still feel it's rude.
We're pretty good at it now, aren't we? Like a ways down the line.
The timing has gotten better, I've noticed. But it's never, I mean, when you get more than one person, it's very hard to look at everybody to see when they're going to take that in breath. Like they're talking, then they got to breathe, right? But if you can't watch everybody.
You can't.
I just-
There's not even any rhyme or reason to when we put our mutes on. Like, you know,
I think I'm good with the fucking mutant thing. Period. You know, there are like these buttons right here. I think I just did it where you probably seen. Did I raise my hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There are some shows that actually utilize this where the more civilized way. It's my turn to talk. My turn to talk.
Well, I didn't even know you could
You
do
know
that.
what I mean? Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry. I
And
forgot to put my
if you
hand up.
click on the buttons there's reactions. You can actually do like smiley faces and fucking all the emojis
no
and
shit.
all that shit. Yeah,
Got it.
there you go.
Do they have the Jeff Bezos rocket?
SoCal needs a motorcycle one. Dude, you got all the icons here.
Eagle, did you talk to Smiley? He's got no power, right?
No, he hasn't had power the last couple of days there at the bar.
Oh my fucking god, though! Like, oh my god! It's gonna be a
I
fucking
think he is
disaster.
running a little bit of generator there, but that's where the fucking next phase of lighting is a beauty, man. To somebody that lives in like northern Michigan and it has like I was worried about it the last few nights. I was surprised that Smiley got it, to be honest with you. That LED, I was always worried about firing up my HID lights, man, because the wireless don't like to be run on a generator, especially for a couple of nights and shit. I'm like, I always figure like by the time the lights come back on, them ballasts are junk. Them ballasts and bulbs are probably junk from the power supply. But LEDs now, them fuckers, man, throw a cord in there, plug them things in, you're good. You know, business
It
as
won't.
usual.
It won't give a shit. It's used to. It's happy to be dimmed and fucking whatever. Yeah.
Fucking 30 amps, 5,000 watt generator, 30 amps, man, you're good, man. That's quite a bit of LED. You know what I mean? Running off a generator there. That's a plus.
That flower room's gonna look funky after 3 days without light or with one little fucking light. That's been it sucks.
I've let them go a few days like that where I've had rather than like we're talking about like right now where I've had called consumers and they're like, yeah, you're a week and a half out, chief. I'm like, fuck, at that point, a week and a half of running that shit on a generator? No, it's going to definitely be junk at the end of that. There's been times where I've let my flowers sit in darkness for 3-4 days and then fired it back up on schedule on the 12/12 without seeing any ill effects, to be honest with you. So,
like a bunch of cloudy days, maybe.
I feel like having extended darkness is much better than for some reason having extended light. Or when your stupid timer goes off in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's fucked up. So dark doesn't seem to hinder the plans, but just a little bit of light in the wrong time.
That's why I don't like other people messing with my plants, period.
My fear is the no light and lots of humidity. That's the scary bit, not the other thing. It's the loss of all.
you're right there. So I'm kind of curious about something. Now, we all know that, environment dictates our pheno.
Epigenetic.
But, yes, sir. But now, I've seen clones drift. Okay, I've got Jack's J2 he sent over here, or the J1 rather. And that he sent it here because it was piney, real piney. And then when I got it here, I ran it out. It was far from piney. It was fucking dragon fruit to like a berry. When I say berry, it's hard to. It's a weird berry that I'm thinking of. It's like almost. I'm thinking Christmas. It's almost. I don't know. It's weird. The berry
Talking
I'm
about
thinking of.
fermented fruit. You're talking about.
Really, I don't know. It's I maybe it's not even a berry. It's maybe the terp of what is that when you hang up at Christmas? It's kind of a fern with holly, with little
Mistletoe.
balls of holly,
Mistletoe.
mistletoes. That's what it. I don't know. That's what it kind of smells like. Or I get the feeling of something to that effect, but not like super pine. It's more berry or dragon fruit. Or yeah. So now, with that being said, I've got the Columbium here. And this happened with the Tiger King. The Tiger King was like piney during flower. And then when I harvested, that pine kind of turned to a pine berry, kind of more the woodsy berry type thing I'm thinking of there. But again, now the Columbium. Some of them playing girls were super pine.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I've got one, I just pulled out of the dryer today and I smoked with Alexis. I smoked one by myself and I went, that's fucking dragon fruit and that woody berry again.
Yeah.
And so I went out and I rolled up another one and I fucking sat down and I smoked it with Alexis. I'm like, what do you think of that? Like, is that kind of fruity? She's like, yeah. She couldn't like put her, she's like, yeah.
Sweet.
I kind of planted the seed after she tossed it around for a minute. But like dragon fruit, she's like, yeah, she kind of like, nah. Then after she like smoked it, she's like, yeah, kind of in that realm. But again, not the pine. So can we almost like back engineer or like pick out, like, say, if there's something dominant in an environment that would bring out or reverse a turd? Like, it's like we say, we've got a strain that's notorious for pine. You grow this motherfucker everywhere. Pine. You bring it here, and then it's bringing out the dragon fruit berry. Could you almost like reverse or like try to diagnose an environment or figure out what the sway is there to figure out to bring it back to pine?
Yeah. We're talking about chemovar, basically, the chemical change because of an environment, chemovar. So, yeah, I reckon you could do it. I reckon my soil makes things cakey. And last week I smoked 10 joints, all different weed from another guy. And I reckon his shit makes shit kind of lemony. And so I think most of it is about humidity and then feed. So, yeah, I reckon you could find out. Oh, you got a question? Go ahead, brother Bingus.
I love the icons now. Thank you. A gastrometer, right? Because then you can compare to see what you've added and what it did to the molecules. And then you could create a consistent pattern and thus a formula for bringing out certain types of terpene profiles. Gastrometers are awesome. They're only 150 grand a piece, I think, something like that. They're very expensive. I'm not sure exactly what they cost, but very helpful with that kind of stuff. And I think they have even more refined instruments. If they don't, they will have to, split the hairs even further, because I really think we're just scratching the surface of this medical cannabis beauty that we have in our midst. Yeah.
So, with that being said, do you think that we'll come to a point where a big scale licensed cannabis operation will be able to,
Steer
take that gastrometer Yeah, basically
Uh-huh.
go to like Cali. You've got this. Oh my God, this thing's so amazing.
The
And like
terroir.
you say, that we took it over here to New York, and fucking it ain't the same thing. But you think there's such a thing to where, when they go get that clone and that, they just capture the essence, the essence of everything that's there. The air, what's in the air, a soil sample, and then they go to the West Coast and they go, okay, there was this in the air with a little bit of this, and this was the soil, and then they fucking feed their environment the exact equation of what they snapshotted in the air. You think they could exactly, oh yeah, this is that weed I had in Cali, down
I
to
mean,
the
I,
nose.
I want to, I want to say yeah, but it's no, isn't it? It's no.
Yeah.
There's too many factors.
Yeah. Now, I think phylobioscience would be the closest thing that I can think of that are trying to achieve those types of results genetically speaking. But we're talking about what the fuck? We're talking about altering. So what happens? I mean, if you're in a different environment, here's a question: does genetics change? Do genetics change, or are just certain parts of the genetic repressed, and then it goes to a different type of environment that encourages that expression to come out? And then if that's the case, do we really, is it the true genetic markers? I mean, is that the only genetic expression that this particular plant has? See what I mean? So, I mean, it's not like, okay, I can identify the plant by this genome, right? Well, wait a minute. Over here in Michigan, the genome is different than it is in, let's say, Green 13 Britain. That's an interesting. I don't know the answer here.
Yeah, and I was about to try and give you an answer, but I don't know either. Sorry.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
I think it's environmental.
It would have to be, wouldn't it? I mean, SoCal.
That's not what he said, though. The chemovar part is definitely environmental. Sorry,
Right.
Eagle. But whether it changes the plant or whether the plant is hiding something expressing, I don't know the answer to that. That's interesting. And whether if you then took it back to Eagles, it would then grow how it grew before again.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That's
then you have
what I'm
genetic-
saying, though. I mean, if it were epigenetic, as Red Pill kind of suggested, it seemed like it would be like a little bit of a to the change. You know what I mean? A little pine in the beginning, and then you notice from there on, it was bare. But I'm talking about, especially in the J1's case, it should have been pine right out of the fucking gate. You know what I mean? I should have got one round where I was like, man, that pine's pretty decent. And as I ran it over and over, it became epigenetic change to my environment. You know what I mean? Then I could see that. But this, in this case, was like night and day. So there has to be
Expression,
like
100% expression. It hasn't had time to change, right? So it's just expressed completely differently, I guess. And it might not be completely different. It might be like right next to it for all we know.
I'm sure they've done
Well,
tests on like twins that were separated at birth. Okay, identical twins. One goes to U.S., one goes to Britain. All right. What do they end up? I mean, are they identical twins? When they're 50 years old.
that would be like what Eagle's saying, a gradual change, because on day one, going to separate homes, those twins are theoretically
the same
thing. But 10 years down the road, they might be completely different.
Yeah. So, but the environments would cause that, correct?
Humans are so complicated, though, with the brain. It's like, your brain will change for your environment. I'm sure it will. And so, because your brain is growing as a child as well. But having said that, plants growing as well, isn't it?
With plants, though, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I'm not. My brain's too scatterbrained right now to think of all the instances, but certain, I think coral, and I think for sure octopus, certain things, they do change their DNA and RNA, or have the ability to. So I wouldn't put it past a plant to do it. And I do think the environment is a big enough.
But now you have to ask the question. Now you have to ask the question: is the DNA, is that changed? In other words, the new DNA that comes out, was it already there? Was it already in the genome? Right. See? And
I'm beginning to
I think it's more.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Eagle.
go ahead.
Well,
I was gonna say, in my head, I'm starting to think more. It's kind of like it's taken in more of the like local funguses and stuff that's in the air. Not necessarily. I mean, we automatically think it could be soil or what we're feeding it could bring that sway, but I'm almost wondering if it isn't the complete Michigan northern air up here. You know what I mean? That's bringing out the expression, not necessarily what it's being fed or the
that's
soil
where we
or
could
the
get
cocoa.
scientific with it. Say you did get a clone from someone, then you not just tried your best, but you did copy exactly their everything, from like the pots they use, what they put in the pot, time they water, what they feed in the water, distance away from the light that they use, the exact same humidifier, the exact same air conditioner, the exact same dialed in temperatures and percentages that they do.
Environmental stresses. Right?
That's what I think it comes down to. Yeah. If once you eliminate all those factors and they still change, then yeah, you have now decided that it's not those controlled factors that are doing it. It's something else that we don't know. That would have more study to be. Is it the ether in the air? Is it your good vibes or bad vibes and intentions? Is it crystals?
It opens it wide up, though.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Well, I think right now, actually, to be honest, Eagle, you have a golden opportunity to play with the environmental differences of the same strain with that cuvee. You've grown it, you've had it. You're the one that found that pheno. It came from you to out here and then back. So once you regrow that out and sample it again, you'll know for a fact if there's any change within it. It's the same cut, it's the same pheno. It's that it came from the mother plant that started from the cut that was received. So will it change between going there and back? That'll be the ultimate test, I think, to kind of rule out or eliminate environmental factors.
I still think I'm gonna be able to get them fucking cuts through. I think Dr. Eagle's gonna fucking step in with fucking the little emergency care and forget.
I don't know, brother.
I'm telling you, I've got some,
that
some
picture you
nice
showed
green
me,
growth in them things. I'll go get them.
They were in for 2 days. They left here on Friday, got to him on Monday, and they literally went from the mother plant, clipped and straight into the aloe plugs, into the box, to the post office, to him. And when he got them, they were fucking looked like he got prison raped on the route.
I had a similar experience with just recently.
Hey, fucking SoCal. Look at them bitches. Now. Huh?
Oh, that's not bad.
Now, hold on. No, hold on. I'll show you the initial, the day I got them from the Peagle. That's what you call it, right? Greenville?
Yeah, it's a peagle. Passenger pigeon crossed with an eagle, yeah. Eagle.
Well, either way, man,
right here.
there's 5 more in the thing getting ready.
Oh, that looks a little wolfy.
Yeah,
That's what the
2 days.
people showed up with.
Wow. Oh,
And this is a few days in my hands.
that's nice, dude. That's very nice. But you had plenty of foliage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good. A lot of hormones still
I
left
think
in
I'm
there.
gonna make it though. I've got
Yeah,
lots of greens,
you're
lots
good.
of sites here. I think so.
Yeah.
So we'll
Now-
put it back in the
I took those exactly the same way that I would take them if I was going to root them and regrow them. When I take a cut, I prefer to FIM the plants rather than top the plants. And anybody, if you're not familiar with FIMming versus topping, topping you top it, you get 2 sprouts out. FIMming, you get anywhere from 3 to sometimes 6, new tops forming. I will FIM, and then after those tops establish themselves, whether it be 3, 4, 5 tops off of that one FIM, I will take that entire section as one cut.
That's a good idea.
So
So you
that's
got you got increased hormones. You see what I mean? That's the key. And you got like 5, 6 fingers coming out of the main, right? And you clip that, and so you got all kinds of chances for it to survive. That's an excellent idea.
Yeah, if you get a cut from me, you're going to be able to take 3 to 5 cuts from the one cut right away, right when you get it. Unless it's going to Eagle, then you get, looks like a load of horse shit just showed up in the mail. I don't know what happened there, but that was literally from Friday to Monday.
When I try to do a rooted, I actually take a rooted one, and I've had them last as long as a week and still survive as long as they're rooted, right? But with this weather, especially nowadays, I mean, this in the summer, I think you don't, because my son works for FedEx, right? All right, so these boxes can sit in a container that's fucking who knows how hot, right? It just depends on where the containers are. So you can literally just bake something overnight in one of these containers. So it's kind of the luck of the draw when you're doing it and you're not rooted. So, but I've never heard of that. What'd you call it? Fimming?
FIMming.
Yeah, fimming.
Fucking missed.
Fuck I missed is what it stands for. The grower that discovered the benefits of FIMming somehow went to top his plant and missed and didn't get the whole top. So basically what you do is if you're going to top, you take that little center growth out of your top where you see it coming out of the top, and you pinch off about 80% of that. Leave about 20% of that little, like, I want to call it bud forming, but it's not really a bud. It's the new growth forming. You
Right.
leave about 20% of that. And what happens is you'll get multiple branches start to grow out of that instead of 2 branches. I've FIMmed bigger, I guess I want to call them tops. I've FIMmed bigger tops and had 6 grow out of that one place where you FIM it. So it takes a little longer in the process to regrow. Once you do the FIMming process, your leaves will start coming out looking like you're going to think you have something eating them. They're going to be all torn up and gnarled looking. But once they actually gain their stride and start going, they open up, and it's amazing how many tops you'll get out of that one FIM.
Learning something new every day. Thank you, sir.
I actually have if you look at my Instagram, which I finally got back, I posted up a photo the other day of a Holland's Hope that I did that with. I took the FIMmed top basically and made a cut out of that, and it now looks like 3 separate plants, but it's one plant. So I have 3 separate, basically main stalks that are all growing their own side branching and their own main tops, all from a little FIM. So ever since I found that and I started doing it, I refuse to just straight out top anymore. It does take a little longer to get your regrowth going, but the benefits of that little added week, 10-day delay are massive.
And those crickets, dude, are really strong. How do you sleep at night? I imagine you probably get used to it. But,
oh, I got the air conditioner going in the room. I got a fan right next to my head. And then, plus once I'm asleep, I'm dead to the world. You could fly an airplane into my freaking kitchen and I wouldn't know it.
oh man. Robert's going to start filming right now, it looks like.
No, I was gonna show what it looked like, but then they all grew out of it.
I have a unicorn right now. It's actually, I thought I made a mistake and it started doing that. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's in the dark. But it's got about 5 or 6 that are just going straight up now, which is awesome. But
That's a blue mile.
I didn't know it was filming.
That's one blue mile. That's the other. This is the window, little windowsill plant.
Nice.
Just as big as the one under the lights. Whole thing.
Blue Mile is a vigorous grower, at least in my experience. I don't know. I mean, I still grow it. It yields, for me, it yields really well. So hopefully it'll do the same for you.
Okay, I'm gonna walk out and see if I can show you guys the true effect of fimming. Let's see if this works.
Yeah.
Thing is, that Blue Mile is a very hardy plant. Enjoy it.
It, yeah, Eagle grew it. It looked really good. It's probably not my favorite, right? But I always keep it there for, because people like it and it yields so well. I mean, I can get probably about 5 ounces off a 3 to 4 foot bush. That's, for me, that's pretty good.
Why isn't it your favorite when you've put your name to it?
Because I've had certain people, it hasn't had 100% approval. That's why it's not my favorite, quite frankly. I like it. It has that menthol peppermint kind of back taste, and some people don't care for that. Some people do. I have one person that just, that's all they want. I'm like, okay. So I don't try to judge. But when I get 100% approval, then I like it. So, because then I know my people that I'm providing for are all happy.
They look super bushy, so Cal.
Look at that.
Okay, so that is one plant. It's
Wow.
about, I'm gonna call that under 2 feet tall. However,
Wow. Look at that. That looks like a bud almost, dude.
I can't actually understand what you're saying without the cricket.
No,
I
that's
can't
not
get it.
what, that's the, I don't have that effect on at all. That's,
yeah, so, oops, what did I do there? Okay, so, like I said, this was one top that was filmed. And yeah,
that's amazing.
So you have basically, there's one by itself. There's the other by itself. Then there's this one back here. But if you go around and look, This one back here is got side branching way down here. That's just massive. And, you know, it never really shows up on camera, but these are starting to do their thing.
Mhm.
Showing crystals and stuff.
Not yet. They're not quite that far. But,
Look at that, dude. That looks like a bud almost, buddy. Seriously.
oh, it is. It is. This thing's full of donkey dicks. It's going to be huge donkey dicks. And this one here, it's just one big giant patty. I don't know if you can get into it and see it, but that's just one big ass thick patty that's created. But that's a FIM. That whole thing came off of one FIM.
That's cool.
Whereas over here, you see how it's just, I did the same thing. It's just bushy as hell. But it's only, you know, I'm going to say 2.5 feet tall. And it's massive. So
yeah.
that's what the FIMing will do for you. But yeah, this thing is getting pretty big donkey dicks on it.
Very much so. Well done.
Yeah, look wicked.
Think that'll be ready before October, huh?
Yeah.
It will, won't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
thinking,
amazed how far in it is, really. For such a narrow leaf plant, fucking hell.
Well, now that came from inside to out. So it started a little early. Whereas this one over here is just now getting ready to start. So what you're going to do to the FIM, let me see if I can. So if you were going to top, right, you're going to want to take that whole section off.
Right.
Okay. So there, that's topped, right? Now, if you want to FIM, you're going to come over to this one. Let me get one closer to the light. You're going to come over to this, and you're going to just take about that much and pop it off. Now you still have that, and that is going to turn into that.
All right. What the fuck happened here?
That's amazing, man. Check us out.
We're all in a panel now for sure. Hey, can I order a drink or anything like that? Like bartender.
Can you
That's so bad.
pass me that computer down there? It's just on the edge of the desk.
Awesome. So you're just doing the old 80-20, you're leaving 20% there, and that all turns into FIMI.
Yes. Yeah, you leave 20% of your top, and that will give you FIM. And like I said, when you do that, it's gonna, you know, when you top, it does stunt your growth a little bit. It does take a little longer to have all that come back. The FIMing takes a little longer, and it looks really gnarly when it starts to actually develop leaves. They're going to come out twisted and mangled and shitty looking. You're going to think you have like some sort of pest problem, but you don't. It's normal for them to come out like that.
That thing Smiley does, where you just pluck the leaves of the tallest, that comes out very much like a FIMmed plant. It has a very similar structure difference.
I'm just looking at all the different stuff that's going on here. Yeah, it didn't show up on the YouTube video. That's weird.
What didn't?
We had,
Panel,
yeah,
didn't it?
did a deal? I don't know. I'll watch the replay tomorrow when I'm trimming.
How come we can buy a grow light for a few $100s and a trimmer costs 5,000? What the fuck is that about? Really is not that.
You get closer to the end, they want more money. So. Like, hey, she wants money. We want our cut. So there you go. Dude, I don't know. I've never
I
really
think it's
seen
because
a
they
good
know you're
result.
not trimming apples.
Yes, mate.
I think it's just because they know that's the part you hate to do. It's like, yeah, you'd like to grow, do that. But we're gonna get you on that trimmer. You gotta harvest, motherfucker. That's why you do it. We'll get you there.
Not a big fan of trimming.
But
I'm
you
not a
know
big
what I
fan.
mean, right? Because like all it is blades. Like it's not. It's like surely we could just copy one of the existing style trimmers and be like. "Do-do-do-do-do."
Some cool high-tech ones out that I've seen that actually separate with air, almost like they do with seeds, where it just kind of blows the material off, and then that shit goes off for extraction and kind of cleans up everything just in the process. It's like really cool. Almost practically makes everything as it's fucking trimming.
That's the future.
I think child
That's the
labor.
part where I don't. It could get automated all at once in the end product there. I enjoy the hand trim, but man, if I could get a machine to trim it as well as I can, yeah, go ahead. The love's going to be in the growing part, the taste and everything. The craft's going to be in the growing.
Trimming's not my favorite
So
part.
it's all going to get broken up over dry sift screens or put in a extraction tube for me. So I'm for machines.
But for you, no even trimming then.
Kind of. I mean, whatever the plant gets rid of itself as it taking the last of its leaves, and then me trimming it down to anything I can get a stem on, or clip that has a stem without forcing the scissors into the bud. Whatever leaf is still on at that point, yeah.
Spiky Pilot says, stop being lazy and self-trim. It's the best way to do it.
Well, that's what's going on now. The Dane Duchess touched on it during the Women's of Hash, the Ladies of Hash episode there. More and more licensed cultivators are trying to give around a lot of that fucking trimming bullshit, the whole dry cure, all that bullshit. They're like, fuck it, cut it down, put it in freezers. We'll turn it into fucking extracts for fucking pins and all that other good shit. They say, oh, we're doing it for the turds, the live resin. I don't think it. I think that was part of it because it's completely heady, different kind of buzz. But I think it was more the laziness of not having to have a dry and trim facility where there's chance for another loss. You know what I mean? There's
I will
chance
say,
for
though,
another error during
I
that
think
phase.
it's one
Get
of
rid
those
that
things
shit.
like
Freeze it.
commercial isn't always a good thing. No, I interrupted, but I think commercial isn't always a good thing, and you get too big for your britches, and at some point, you can't have the same level of standard. Like if it was like just me and like my dad trimming, the weed's going to get trimmed the exact way I want. If you got 400 trimmers cutting down, 600 pounds a day or whatever, you have no expectation of it being good.
I'm raising my hand. Hey, that okay, I've often had this notion based on what you just said, that the way to do it is you have, instead of one huge facility, you have 100 small controllable facilities. Okay. Instead of like thousands of plants, you have a few hundred, that you can manage. And then that collective works together. But getting people to work together in a team effort like that is not very easy to do. Right? Because when you fragment like that, then you have fragmented issues. Right? And some people aren't sticking with the program, properly. Maybe they have pest issues, what have you. So you lose control, right? And that's why commercial people don't do it this way. But there should be some kind of happy medium. Like, let's say you have a commercial facility that's divided into like 100 plant plots, and like, so you're on the same wavelength as far as the facility, but as far as the management of the crop, it's all compartmentalized. And but then you'd also have competing. You see what I mean? People would start saying, "Well, I'm a better grower." You get the human element in there. So
I also think that's your way around like why commercial facilities won't grow long-term sativas or narrow leaf or equatorial class of cannabis.
right.
You do it perpetually. You can have if it's a 12-week strain, you can have 6 rooms. It can all be 2 weeks apart. Now you're pulling the 12-week strain, you're pulling it down every 2 weeks. So there, no more excuses.
Oh, you're right. Rotation is key, but again, consistency is the key to rotation. You're not
solved the
consistent.
key to the rotation there, but now it's space. You've solved the harvest problem, but now you've taken up twice the room. And again, if you're running a shorter run strain, then you'd be talking huge dollars if you were flipping an 8-week strain versus that 12. It make way more money.
Yeah, I don't think it takes more space, because if you do like as Bingus said, if you take 100 light room and you make 520 light rooms,
You could
still the
also
same amount of
you could
space.
also do monocrops in each one of the compartments. In other words, you wouldn't have to have you could have much more control over the strain in a smaller monocrop than you would in a rotation of constant different varieties where you're just like juggling, all the time, which is
Well,
what I'm doing.
One thing I've seen people, I don't want to say I haven't seen people do it. I'm sure one place it was at one point, like I think hotels and schools make the best place for it. Like the skeleton of a school with big long hallways and
Oh yeah.
rooms on each side of the hallway, all equal sizes. You could take something that is supposed to be a school, maybe at one time was, which is funny because, the whole like 1,000 feet away from this place, turning a school into a big commercial grow is the way I thought it could go down. Because like I said, I would be able to have multiple different strains growing and still have a perpetual harvest where we don't have to
Yeah.
wait 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks for one certain strain to come down.
It also, I think, would create an excellent opportunity for a group of people, all right, to be connected with one common goal, all right, and having everybody getting a portion of the profitability. So you're totally invested. You're not just a hired hand. I'm in charge of group 101, right? Or room 101,
Yeah.
right? And I'm in charge of room 102, whatever. You can make it financially.
So-
Yeah.
I didn't mean to jump in. I need to use the hand thing. I need to use the hand thing as well. It is more gentlemanlike. Green 13, I seen you had your hand raised. Did you ever jump in?
I was going to say to you that was such an important conversation, like a mind-blowingly important cannabis conversation on that episode, where those girls struck up with really what was the truth of the color of hash and the state of people pulling down plants early because they're fucking them up, or they don't want to pay to finish them out, or all that stuff was really important. And actually, the whole heady thing, you know, I've been lucky enough recently to dab on some of that white hash, and like, it's amazingly terpy and amazing. And the guy I'm talking about is a true pro, like, wow. But the thing about it is, after about 15 minutes, I'm ready for another one of them tasty, tasty dabs. And trust me when I tell you, you won't do 2 of my dark fucking trim up, dry trim dabs in a row, because you'll need to go sit on the sofa. So it's kind of a thing where one is medicine and one is like a really extreme expression of something that was the cannabis plant. And it's a heady, cool thing that actually is not, it's recreational really, because it's the high's too short and it's all flavor. And yeah, it was a really important conversation, I thought, and really honest of them, and yeah, powerful.
I have seen, just to address that, and I want to flip it back a little bit to what we were talking about. I have seen a direct correlation with that earlier, more blonde hash and anxiety, that up and down that you're talking about with the kids. I've seen them and that habit right there, that up and down, up and down, up and down, turn into an anxiety in the younger generation, without doubt. And I know in my heart it's from that dabbing of the more blonde, earlier harvest material, more turkey stuff. All right, now back to the red pill there, and the six rooms of the 12-week strain. I'll give you 6 tables in a room as like a manager of a facility versus giving you up for your 12-week strain, 6 of the rooms. I would give you 1 room with 6 offset tables. So basically, you would offset them so you were pulling down and keeping everybody in stock with fresh 12-week cannabis versus give you my whole 6 rooms. I'd run some shorter stuff in the other 5 and then just offset your 12-weeker in that room.
Just effective management.
Well, I still say I don't want to do it in a big room though, because the smaller room is going to be able to hold a better environment.
You could have 6 smaller rooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but my thing is, like, if it is a 12-week flowering plant, do I want the plants in week 12 to be in the same room as I want the plant that's its first day in there? Humidity and environmental wise, no, I want. I want a more humid, hotter, brighter, CO2 rich room in the beginning of flower, and decrease all that shit as the plant gets older.
I would prefer a monocrop in each separate room. I get Eagle's point though. I mean, to make the efficiency a little bit more tolerable. Let's say because room might be an issue. But again, if we're just talking like a school, I mean, shit. And you have like 100 different classrooms. Yeah. Okay, well, over here on the sativa wing, all right, rooms 101 through 112 are this strain monocropping, all right, at this frequency. In other words, because of the way we have it set up, every week we are harvesting, right? And you can manage the harvest. It's just a matter of time, you know, when it starts to kick in. And then to keep it rolling is the challenge too, quite frankly. So, but I'm seeing it, man.
Okay. All right.
I'm seeing it.
Seeing is believing, as they said.
I'm holding tight on my fucking stance here.
All right, let's hold tight.
The
We're
one,
dying on our
the
hills.
one room, not the 6. Again, but for multiple reasons. Consistency in product, and again, I'm a fan of the microclimate here. Don't get me wrong. I dig the microclimates here, but there could be a sway. Room 6 could be hot. You know what I mean? I could be pulling up a little bit different terps out of this. And again, this is a consistent product I want. So why wouldn't I have a better chance of keeping a more consistent product, all in the same environment, all in, and just staggered? You know what I mean? That the end product would be more consistent than the 6 divided rooms, I would feel. Just because there's so many different temperatures,
This would be a great one
whatnot.
to actually test, because I can see the benefits of both arguments, to be quite frank. So it would just boil down to, all right, let's do one and the other and see which one is more effective.
In the beginning, I was only trying to defend the reason why, or I was just trying to get, this was only to push people into trying to grow, longer flowering strains in a commercial setting. All the mastering of it is an extra thing.
Exactly.
But I was just trying to make a case for that. There's no reason why you can't. No reason. I would maybe in the other side of the chart try to think of reasons against growing long flowering sativas, but to be
You would have to charge for it.
See,
You'd have to.
Don't want to
in the commercial setting,
No, it doesn't.
see, in a commercial setting, they don't care about quality. They care about turnover and cash. So they're going to grow something that's going to take 45 days rather than something that's going to take 56 days. And they're not going to deviate that, because every 45 days they're making their money. Now, those other few days, now that's money they got to spend in power, water, feed, depending on what medium they're in, people,
Rent.
Rent, all of your overhead. Exactly. So why grow a 90 day that's going to be 100 times better than your 45 day when you could turn that 45 day into cash every 45? Why wait 3 months when you can wait a month and a half?
Well,
that's the logic between.
You can do that though.
Why? The answer, the market would have to dictate that you do so in order to make it feasible. You see what I mean? The market would have to demand.
Think about it this way: if you did like how Eagle said, I don't know, I'm just envisioning this: 120 light room, 120 days strain. Put one plant under one light, and as long as you got a new plant to put in there after you cut one down, you're technically harvesting 120-day plant once a day. There you go. There's your profit every day, day after day.
But there's more profit to be had. And someone's going to say, but you could do this and make 40% more. Okay, I will.
Their overhead is higher as well. I mean, that's what SoCal is getting at. When you're going longer, you're spending more electricity, more everything. All right. So the cost, your overhead goes up. So that's why I'm saying the market would have, because it wouldn't make sense financially unless the market demanded. In other words, we're willing to pay 30% more for this product because we understand that the overhead, it takes more to put in to get out what we want. But there are markets that would do that would say, hey, this weed is so fucking good, I'll pay twice as much for it. I mean, I've done that myself at certain dispensaries at weak moments in my life. You know what I mean? So interesting subject matter, guys. I gotta say,
grow your own.
You got to keep in mind too that these commercial facilities, their end consumer does not care whether it took them 90 days, 30 days, 4 days. They don't care. They don't know the difference between a 90-day or a 45-day. You could sell them an autoflower and they're not going to know. You could sell them sativa as an indica, and they don't know. Most of the people that are in the storefronts don't know. You ask them, what was this grown with? Where was this grown? How was it grown? They don't know. You ask them what additives or chemicals or pesticides, they can't answer it.
Okay, so I'm thinking of this as a long-term thing, and at some point we're going to be in a future where weed has been legal and recreational or whatever, 100 years in the future, and there's going to be names and brands like there's, you know, cigarette and alcohol brands today that have lasted that whole entire time because they're better than the competition. The places you're talking about that, you know, suck, they're not going to last. But then there's going to be brand names like Coca-Cola and the weed that they did the right things whenever they needed to. And
the interview with Dark Horse Genetics, okay, for example, all right, that's why I like the interview so much, because his business plan was to point towards quality and charge more, because they're willing to pay more for something that is of value. Now, granted, we have, look at the tobacco industry. You got your, you know, your dime store cigarettes, and you got your standard brands, right? Some people only smoke certain brands, right? So the market has enough fragments in it to feed all the different levels. But I prefer, like Dark Horse Genetics, his approach is quality. In other words, when you hear that brand name, right, you're going to equate it to, this is better than your average shit, so be prepared to pay a little bit more, right? And I don't know.
When I went to my first market in Colorado, it was technically Colorado Springs, and the state of Colorado is recreational Colorado Springs. It's only medical. They voted against recreational. But anywho, going there for when I moved there, you know, try to find the best dispensary. Maybe you go through 10, 15 dispensaries, and then you stay loyal to maybe just 2, because you figured out the ones that you went to search around weren't worth buying anything from or going back to. So it'll continue to be like that. There's going to definitely be places where there's bud tenders that are selling auto flowers, and they're telling you it's I don't know, hydro grown.
OG Kush. Yeah.
The cannabis industry has so many fragments of the market. You know what I mean? That's why it's easy. I mean, it's not very difficult for you to create your own little providers. People that, hey, dude, I like the way this guy. I mean, not everybody can grow, but I would hope everybody would know at least a good grower. You know what I mean? And that will also put a little bind in the commercial aspect.
Microbes.
Anyway, dude, I really enjoy these conversations. We're really getting into the crux of why plant is here, in my opinion. I'm going to step out, my friends.
Let's.
Oh, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Cheers.
Go ahead.
You're staying to the next 20 binges.
Okay.
I was just gonna throw in one more facet on that, on the whole thing. There is it still worth it? You know, even though you get the higher markup, the quality, but with the current like market and bad type shit that goes on right now, is it worth it to sit on that high label, high dollar, long strain when everybody else is like hype, hype, hype? And then as soon as the next one comes out, hype, 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 hype. I mean, they may smoke and appreciate that one for that one time why somebody throws up the sign and says this month hype. But in the next, few weeks, it's going to be everybody else is chasing this and that while you're stuck on that, nice label.
I think maintaining
Long
integrity
weeks,
is a very good business strategy. It's always been very good for me. It works for you too. You know what I mean? So, but there's always going to be fragments of the market that aren't going to require that type of integrity. Right? They're also not going to want to pay for it either.
One thing about
it comes down to the end consumers are not educated, so they don't understand that the hype is just that. It's just hype. It's just bullshit. You know, a lot of the places, I can't speak for anywhere but here, a lot of the places here, they're going to tell you, okay, we got the house strains, we got the mid shelf, and we got the top shelf. And they're going to push that top shelf on you like crazy because they're going to sell you an eighth of, you know, donkey's asshole for $70. What they don't understand is that, you know, whoever grows that donkey's ass is hyping that up to them in their sales pitch to the stores. But you go to that middle shelf and they might have something really fucking good, but they're not pitching it the same way because they don't understand it. So the consumer is thinking, oh, okay, well, over here we've got this cuvee, and over here we've got, you know, Bob's Kush. Well, you know for a fact that cuvee that they got labeled on the middle shelf because they don't know shit about it is gonna be fucking great. But Bob's Kush over here, because Bob came in and gave him the sales pitch, is gonna go on the top shelf. They're going to push that to the end consumer. The end consumer is going to take everything that they're being told at
As
the shop
gospel.
as gospel. So they don't bother to go check and do strain research or do, you know, okay, this one they say that has X% THC. This one has, you know, X% over here. They're not going to go see which one's got a higher THC or CBD level. They're not going to see what's got a THCA or a THCV. They're just going to know that they went in, they spent $75 on an eighth, and they're high. And above that, they don't give a shit. So why am I going to give a shit as a commercial grower? My product's flying off the shelf because of marketing, not because of quality.
There is a little bit to it. Like I said, things about the future, things in the future, way further down the line from now. The people better, those big time producers better get ready to not make as much money on weed as they do now. So that's going to shove people that are only into it for money slightly out, and more people are going to just put up with that because they're into it for the love and they just like weed anyways. And then the second point is I'm not for, just because it's higher quality at this time and age, necessarily having to pay more money for it. And that can be, you know, this or that in a recreational setting, but it still exists in a medical setting. Now there's another, whatever you want to call it, like how there's vegans and non-vegans, there's a little bit of philosophy and BHO versus solventless. Now, I'm not a believer that solventless is so much superior and so much less bad for you that it needs to be $80 a gram, where Nug Run BHO is $10, $15 a gram.
There's also a massive problem here where that isn't, where one's a full extract, the BHO, and the other one is a selected extract. So that, yeah, it's very weird to decide which one's better.
Well, I can't believe that people that need this as medicine, if they need the cleanest and highest grade medicine, which you would think is solventless hash, they got to pay a lot of money, stuff that they can't even afford, you know. And then the stuff that supposedly is more worse for them is more affordable. So they don't got money to be spent on medicine in the first place. So what's the only option for them?
You can price yourself out of the market as well. I mean, you got to be smart about it. Okay, here's a real life example. All right, as I provide for a handful of people. Okay, I have one lady that dropped off, right, and I didn't hear from her for a while, and then all of a sudden she came back, and I heard from her again, and she was back, and I was giving her what she needed in a medical sense. So she drifted away, and she told me straight up, she goes, your for me, for your product for me, works the best. And she's never left since then. So you have like the medical aspect of it, like Red Pill was saying, which can dictate the market to a degree. And a lot of people that are in this for the medical are looking for those small fragment or those growers or the higher integrity type stuff. Now, do they want to pay more? No, people always want the most for the absolute least, right? But can you get more money? Sure, if people are requesting and have determined that yours does what they need it to do on a medical sense. But do you want to take advantage? No, I don't think taking should be in the equation whatsoever. It should be a win-win, give thing. You know, I could, if I was a real corporate prick, I could have went to her and said, well, since you like my product better, what would you be willing to pay for it over the others, right? So I could do a little marketing test right then and there, and begrudgingly, right, she might tell me, or she might say, fuck you. And, you know, I thought you were a nice guy, and you're just a corporate prick like the rest of them. So, I mean, I don't go that route. It's what I, you know, the donation, whatever covers me and takes care of a little more is all I ask. Are there people that drive that nail too far? Yeah, way yeah. I mean, that's unbelievable. They're charging 3 or 4 times what, you know.
I also
should be.
believe that people that are actually, you know, obviously it's kind of might be common sense, but the better skilled and the higher end product you can achieve with the lower cost or fewer inputs, you know, like the overhead type thing,
Yes,
that's gonna set you above the game too.
absolutely.
So if you're a
Absolutely.
dry farmer and you can grow in the desert, getting stuff that people drool over, doesn't really cost you anything to produce it, so you shouldn't really be charging that much. You shouldn't be, oh, you know, this is a
Should be win-win.
$400 an ounce stuff right here. No, it only costs you
Totally.
50 cents to
See,
produce.
that's to me, that's the future we're headed to. We're headed to, I'm hoping, the more integrity that we used to have from the past, only applied to more futuristic type endeavors by humanity. But, whoa, better feed those pups, buddy. Anyway,
So I'm not 100% on that there, red pill. If I can do it smarter and faster, does that automatically make me drop the quote price? Or you know what I mean? It market standard, let's say it's like say 300.
Mhm.
And I come in and I figure out a way to keep my quality the same, but I can
Mhm.
manufacture for a fraction of what everybody else is. Does it justify me to cut everybody else's throat and bring the
Well,
market
10
down to
years,
my
10,
manufacturing profit? Or do I stay up at market profit or market price rather, and just reaping the profit because I've figured out a smarter, better way?
you can do that, but the only people in 10 years paying $300 for an ounce is going to be like Snoop Dogg. An ounce of weed 10 years from now is going to cost like $75 for pretty good quality.
Proper business tells me I would fucking write it out with everybody else's product, and then when everybody got sick of it, then drop my price to meet my manufacturing costs. And then I'll still be good because I was killing it anyway, and now I'm still making money because I'm still producing it at a fraction of the price. But I made it a killing in the beginning. While it, price was in demand.
The $1 and $2 grams of weed are coming here soon. It's not going to be bad Walmart weed either. It's just going to be the standard. I mean, you better love weed to get in the business because you're not going to get into it for money 10 years from now.
So
or
let
get
me put
into it
this
now.
in a way Bingus can understand, or way to put it. Like, say we bid a job, Bingus. You know what I mean? Same. I bid it, it's a X price, you bid it for the same price. If I were to do the same price in 2 hours that took you 8 hours, does that mean I should charge any less when the market price was the same just because I did it in 2 hours? Or
I would say, wait, hold on. I would say if you have a machine where you get to sit back and do nothing. It takes 2 hours to do the one guy's 8 hours of job.
If
And
the
yeah, like why
quality
you
is,
cost-
if the
Go ahead, my
quality
bad,
is,
Nick.
if the quality is equal, no problem. If it's not, big problem. Okay, so I mean, if you're bidding,
But that's the argument he's saying. If the quality is the same and then should I drop the price? Would I? That's the question he's asking.
would you drop?
Quality is the same.
Well,
If
we're
there
making
were
this,
robots that did that job for us, you wouldn't be able to charge what you used to, because the robots are working for free.
I know.
Yeah, but you had to buy them.
Well, you don't. You pay for the service.
If we're bidding a job, all right, at the same price, all right, and we're bidding the exact same quality, and you can do it faster because you're more capable of doing that for whatever reason, that's fine with me. And that's not a taking proposition at all. That's allowing you to service more people than I can, which is good on you. But to me, it has to be a win-win type of deal. If your quality is less, I'm going to call you on it. I'm going to say, hey. So then you run that risk, right? If you're cutting corners,
And I would,
you see, then you run the risk of losing your integrity. You see, it's my point.
I would expect you to call me on the quality difference. to be
So as
honest.
long as integrity is
businessman.
maintained, and the price levels are acceptable to the market, the time, the efficiency of each individual to do it should be a null factor. Right? Because it's just one guy. Let's say you're 19 years old and I'm 66. Fuck, you're going to move a lot faster than me.
One thing I'll add too is maybe this might be a radical thought. No surprise coming from Red Pill, but how everyone's about $15 minimum wage, and then the first thing that comes to everyone's mind is fast food workers. Well, to me it might sound crazy, but I think people have a better purpose than working at fast food restaurants, and can't we just leave that for a machine to do?
McDonald's already is.
Yeah.
All the McDonald's around me, you walk in now and there's not a cashier, there's a kiosk. You
Right.
order from the kiosk, you pay with your debit or your credit card, and the 3 people that are actually in the store will make your order and tell you when it's ready.
Yeah.
Here I come out of the left field again. Is it just moral to keep the price the same? Now,
I
here's
don't
my
think it's
example on this.
Ah,
Let me hear me out. Hear me out now. Now, again, everybody else is doing the job for 8 hours. I'm doing it for 2. Okay. I'm not giving out trade secrets or whatever and just knocking out the business. Okay. And let's say I do lower my price just to knock you guys out of business or whatnot. And I go like big box store on you guys. I'm tired of doing it. Taking my secret with me. I died in the process. Now all the 8-hour guys that were doing it for the same process and could still be doing it are like, fuck this, man, I'm out of here. He ran us out of business. So is it ethical to drop the price and eliminate everybody, or make the profit and keep everybody in business?
in my humble opinion, all right, when you start taking from others, there's going to be a price to pay. How that price is paid probably won't even be aware by you when you're paying it. Right. So that's my take on that. If you're cutting out my livelihood, the price for that is going to be dear unto you, because that's how energy works, period. So
And here I go out of right field again, because I think when that day comes, half of us are going to be hooked up to VR machines and not even living in this world anyways.
you mean we're not right now? We are right now. We are right now.
Yeah, I am.
You see what I mean? So it's what's lacking, what's missing, I think, in today, from what I see when I was younger, is integrity. is accountability and responsibility. And when we start talking money, that's where everything goes fucking gray. There's no, it should be black and white. In my humble opinion, it should be a win-win situation if you want to maximize your integrity, right? Which is going to give you longevity, and it's going to make it so you don't have to look over your shoulder. All right. Now, if you take, you're going to get took sooner or later, and you're going to be looking over your shoulder because subconsciously you know it's going to happen. So that's my take on it.
It's kind of like what would be good for everyone is if they built things like they used to before they came up with designed obsolescence.
Corporate.
That,
When corporations took over, all liability went out the window. You're not liable, which means you don't have any skin in the game. So fuck you, basically.
that's what I feel like hype and new strains are. They're designed obsolescence for cannabis.
Great conversation tonight, guys.
Yeah,
To
man.
apply this to so many things. Like, I mean,
I'm just gonna jump out, brother. I gotta go now. I gotta go start my day. Mad love, boys. Have a great day.
Good
Right
on
on,
you,
man.
man.
Have a great day.
Good to see you too.
cheers, brother. Probably right. Good place to cut it off there.
Oh. 6 a.m.
It
I
is
was just
down
want, I
to
want if you do want to listen to it, I'd like to. I will throw that example in there, though. I mean,
Go
it
ahead.
basically to back it up is let's say the shoemakers, okay. You know, basically every town at one point had a guy that made shoes or whatever for a nice price, lasted quality, and then say like Nike comes and forms up. Now they're throwing out mass products, driving out the little guy again, and then ultimately after they drove him out, are overcharging than what the small guy would have charged. I mean, I don't know.
perfect example.
Same to you.
Perfect example.
Well,
And, but we don't know the intricacies of the payment that Nike's having to make. We don't know. But
There's
I guarantee you they're paying. They're going to pay anybody. It's just how energy works. It's
there's one more to what you said, Eagle. It's not just the shoemaker and then Nike. So the shoemaker makes cool shoes, and then Nike comes around and makes shoes that all the kids want, right? And then a Chinese company sprouts up and makes those exact same shoes and sells them cheaper. Now the shoe guy's fucked, Nike's fucked, everyone's fucked. But
corporate.
your kids got nice shoes.
Corporate. All right, and your kid has a warped sense of what integrity is. Seriously.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So that's a defragmentation of the morality of humanity. It's kind of where we're at. That's why I keep pounding. My dad was born in 1907, dude. Right? That's the kind of upbringing I had. I mean, they had horses and shit. They didn't have cars, right? And to him, corporate or credit, no. You saved for what you wanted, and then you bought it. You had the foresight, the willingness to do the right thing. You know, a handshake was all you needed if you had integrity. Fuck, those days are long gone, long gone. And I'm fortunate. I feel fortunate. My old man was hard on me. You know, it's half of the reason I had post-traumatic stress. But I'm also grateful for the insights of that era, whereas my contemporaries didn't have that. But they got to do a lot of things that I couldn't do. I always had to work. I always had to have a job, and I had to go to school, you know, and I had to help family with whatever money I made. So it's those types of that type of thinking is melting away quickly, unfortunately, or fortunately. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it.
See, everybody's goal is to make as much money as possible with as little effort as possible. So if I can go in and do that job that Eagle said he can do it in 2 hours, if I can go and do that job in an hour and bid him, bid 3/4 of what he did and do 6 of those jobs in one day, then I'm making all that money for a shorter period of time, because pretty soon I'm not going to need to make money anymore. I'll have enough that I don't need to make it. So it comes down to, are you stepping on people's toes? Maybe. But are you doing what's best for you and following your plan?
I'm smart enough to sub all that work out to you.
I just think if you're going to have to crawl over people to get to the top of the ladder, it's really not worth getting to it. I don't think that that's the way, in my humble opinion, that things should be done. But then again, I don't have aspirations that are forced down my throat by the indoctrination of propaganda media either. I turn that shit off and I know what it's all about. All right. So once you understand their game, it's pretty hard to be affected by it. Then you can gravitate more towards win-win, integrity, handshakes. Your word actually means something. Not saying things that you know are not true. Think about that statement. Stop saying things that you know are not true, or you can't verify that they're true, but you say them anyway because that's the narrative that you're being fed. So we can go on and on and on about this, but it's everybody gets to choose. That's the other bright side of this whole scenario. You get to choose. So enjoy your choice. But I've learned personally that if you take, you're going to get took. Go ahead.
That's very true. Very true. Called karma. That's called karma.
And I've had my head caved in by it. I've done the taking and I've paid the price. That's why I can say what I believe now, because I think giving and finding win-win situations make me a lot more happy, less agitated, more balanced person, thankfully. I wish I would have figured that out earlier. But sometimes you have to dive into the depths of the negativity to realize how good it is on the other side. I've been to prison more than once. I don't always broadcast that, but it's because of taking. That's why that happened. I was taking and I got took. Now, I could sit here and blame the system and but that's not the responsible thing to do. You got to own up for what you did. I was naive. And if there was something I could point at, is the indoctrination system, the public school system didn't teach me that this was all a fucking lie. Right? It didn't teach me that. I had to learn it the hard way by being scraped through this just us, J-U-S-T, U.S. system. It was just for the elite. It's just for those that have all the money.
We're going to start quoting Carlin again.
Yeah, man. It's a big club and you ain't in it. Right? And that's a fact, right? But you still can have integrity. You can still be a fucking slave, all right, and have integrity. If you're going to be part of this system, right, you're definitely enslaved to it, and you have to come to grips with that as well. All right, it's just a fact.
Everyone that's ever existed has either ruled or been ruled on.
Yes. Friends, back everything. Thanks, chat. Appreciate you guys, everybody. Dude, this is the types of conversations that everybody should be having. And again, on Eagle Gardens, we find another home run. I think great interview tonight. Good discussion afterwards. It is almost 76 degrees, so I'm going to go to bed, my friends.
Ooh.
Hey,
It dipped
Bingus for
under
popping
81.
out.
No, I thank you, my friend. I thank you and each one of you on the panel and everybody in chat, and even people that'll be listening to this later on. Thank you. And good night.
Yep.
Have a good night, man.
I love you, kids. That's for the future.
Well, with that being said, guys, I think I'm going to call it because I want to get my shout outs done. It's been a few days, kind of missing it. And we'll leave the rest of the conversation for tomorrow, eh?
Okie dokie.
Right on. Shout out to everybody in chat. Have a great night, everybody. Eagle, thanks for having us. Always a pleasure. We always have some great stuff going through here. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Be safe.
So, Cap, have a great day, brother. Fred Pill, you as well.
Yep.
Always.
Farewell, everyone. Another great night. Another great discussion. Had fun. I'm hoping everyone watching had fun and enjoyed it. Thank you, Eagle. And we'll catch up tomorrow. Peace.
Later, Red Pill. Eagle. Thank you. Have a good night. I got smoke in my eye. Okay. I can see you now. Have a good night. Love you.
You too. Love you too, brother. Have a great day, man. With that being said, let's get these shout outs out. I believe I have them right here. Leave my headphones out of the way. I look down, grab my sheets that need to be rewritten. These things are just terrible. Look at it, they're just barely there. These spots right here, I just know what was there. Fucking coffee spilled out on half of these pages are missing some shit. But with that being said, let's do it. Some cool D's house a day. My boss, 710. Switch cameras here. Oh, I think I did. There we go. Bottle of 710, Scarecrow 420, Green Thumb Bum, Christina MG89, Unplugged 705, Medical, McCullough, Rick T, the Rebel, the IG 207, Fabian Salinas, Dave's Not Here, Tom Spook, Greg Walker, Meadow Dope, T-Dog, Dung Beetle, Red Eye Jedi, Gross, Mother Nature, Justin Conway, Duckweed, Run Boy 7426, Justin Goodard, Strongman, Okie Grower 75, Corey Trevor, Michael Wall, Small Vision 420, Who's Joe, Cat Daddy, Taco Don Slug, Rick S, In the Bushes 827, James Simmons, Kevin Hahn, World's Last Hope, Pats fan, Bio Mentor, Dirt Road Dude, Kanashiba, Jose Ramirez, Red Eye Rustler, Dab Goblin, Dr. Buzz Lightyear, Acetone 710 Canuck, Canna Queen Genetics, Stabbing Tanaza, Food, Dirt Man, Dan, Keith of Black Sales, Mr. Bosola, Sim Premium Gardens, Rasta Bob, Rasta Zet, Jeff, Sim Premium Gardens, Soil Root, Small Tubes, Tyler, Frosty Buds, North Michigan Micro, Luigi Buds, Dub T. Roy, Big Jar Grows, JC, Modern Genetics, SoCal, Weed Nerd, John, Last PPJ 15, G15, Green County Grower, CJ Apple, Perfectly Imperfected, Dollar Tree Grower, T1 Production, St. Grower, DOA, Grow Med, Smith Nudie Grows, I Grew Some, Johnny Canister, Nutrients, Shootouts, Nude Naughty Nikki, Zoe and Slammer, NNY, Pixel Monkey, St. Bernard's Observation Booth, Clover 420, High Spy, Aldridge 25, Miss Madam T Stu, Moon, Mo Grower, Candy Crate, Loki Grows Us, This Guy Burton 79, Post Hammer, Midwest Outlaws 31, Voodoo Altars, Fresno Nerds, Cali Connection, Wolverine Grower, Big Jar Grows, Jimmy One for Life, Way Back, D Block, MMP Nations Creations, Amber Lalana, Psychedelic Warlock, Artist LD, Sir Sicky, Rob, Big Day. 420, Brent Window, Big Ed, 1961, Mattawani, G3, The Green Clay, JK, Triple G, Mr. Sprinkly, Brittany, Tyler Teasley, Hope Farms, Lisa G, John B2 Gracie for you, BGWG, 420, Dr. Boswell, Purple Thumb OG, Arthro, Sensimania, Arthro, Just Space, 420, Beast Coast Forward, 420, Sir Al, Trey Balone, Keep It Real, Hagerton, 427, Zeppelin, Audit Everywhere, BT, Double D Grows, Bingus, Green Puffet Man, Alex Boyka, Jeff Life, School of Crop, Cause I Love It, Green Mountain Growers, Southwest Okie, Real 100, 212, and Mandy Moran, Randy Family Farms, Page Farms, Me All Flower, Ryan Henderson, Green 13, New Sail Out Winds, Kingdom Aquaponics, Indra, Michigan Native, Mary Jane's Bed Garden, Streamer 77, Double D, Bad Bunny Nutrients, Mr. Green Pots, Mr. Green Nugs from 619 to 664, Spaniard Kruger, Jones in the Grove, Papa G Grows, Raz Amy Dro Grows, Cass the Grow from Your Heart podcast, Lily Luna, the Green Men Flock, Lost Art, Mr. No One, LG 420, Giant Mike, Prometheus, so Jason Isom, P. Win, Dave, Colby, Mason, 662, Scroggy McScroggerton, the fourth Goddess Grows, Kaylee Burrows, Chad and Brad Family Farms, Polly P. Vior, Kevin Jodry, Mike Honcho, Jay Huggins, UDA, Green Tree Hunter, Kush Cloud, Joshua Steenson, Organic Home Bloods, Buds, that is, Warren Nelson, Cam Wood, Maine Mystic, Show Love Always, Kelly Stone, Texas OG, Chuck Norris, Sarge S. Player Fresno, Happy Guy, Dan, the Indoor Man, Grow Me Homies, Hamilton Smoke, Clip Smoke, Keystone, Canafly, PA, Big High 710, Eugene Greenleaf, Ace, Drew, Hustle. Oh, here's a good one too. Fred Dark Hollis, North Arizona Beer Grove 420, No Sellout, Jesse White, Gosh Dang Yeti, Introvert Genetics, So J, Vixen Robin, Killer 8 Mo, James Buttercream, C-Dub from NorCal, The Pharmacy Seedbag, Deadhead, Smokey 616, Curtis Mayman, Myron, oh, shit. Curtis Mayhem, Matt Myron, Morte, Rick Heyman, Stephanie Dora, Antenna Seeds, Fabricarius, Kate, Mike Rubos, Drew Bear 420, Maxi 751, Lawrence Gonzalez, Slowly Get Up, Stu Moo, Popco 719, Bake with Shake, baby, Old Smoke, PWC, Grown Buds, Laura Walsh, Mr. Weed Blunt, Old School Grower, Chad Westport, Honcho Grown, Florida Nugs, My Little Piece of Heaven, Pungent Sound Seeds, that is, Goliath Grower, Richard T, Chrissy Wannabe, Monsters, Mr. Soul, Blue Spectrum, Gone God, Lori Hanson, Real 2,000 Years of Tradition, Mr. D. Conley, Pip Chan, McBody Face, Show Me Sasquatch, Fuck Google and you, I'm going well, Canadian Restore, Poor Dirt File, Carl Wright, Zeffner, Humble Farms, Tannery Farms, Seldom Seen, Oak Park Girls, Hell, 9782, Skunky Packs, Martial Artist, 2012, Microslave, Hefner, Danny McDizzle, Medically Fit, KGB, Robert, Mr. Greenfingers, Motherfucking Thomas, Rancho Koja, Plenty, Monkey Balls, Andrew Champlin, Bobby Lynn Means, Trench Digger, Mr. Mac, Tony Lake Baloney, Bill S. Weed Peace, Tater Delicious, Minty, Kira, Country Roots, Huron Fire Genetics, Earth Creeper, Big Ray 420, Teen 111, Buds and Hazard, Mr. Club 14, Beater, V-Man Fire, 616, Snarl Up North, Max Stroom, and Ruby. Right into Timothy McKimmons, Neo, Justin Bean, Socratic 88, Fat Belly, Real, Jennifer Steele, Canvas 03, Turf Farmer, Shannon Stevens, Carlitos, Latino, Skater Country, Mr. Speed, Wolfstein, Firesaw, Wally Wookie, The Goddess Grows, Ross and Bob, White Feather Grows, Burning Shrooms, Tone Grows, Day, K-Man Grows, BX Gunner 81, Smith, New Grows, Sean McCann, J Munch, Dink Agenda, Walla Walla Canna Grow, Fall Dog, Huron Cannabis Council, Alyssa Parrish, Rock Fam, Justice Mink, Forever 20, Fresh Ben, Thriving Herbs. Hi boy, your mailman grows. We be growing Australian grown for love of the plant. Argo American, Smart Poker, Unfrozen Caveman, Wise Heist, Surf Crap, Micro Good, Jeff Lowenfels, Mobius Grows, Dink, Brownies, Dan D, Elliot Harkins, Mystic Flavor, The Forging Garter, Overwater Overkill, Seattle Steve, Shadow Warrior, Valley Green 514, Amelia Jensen, Oz Indica, Dr. MJ Coca, Brandon Ross, Matthew Gates, D's Bags, Drone Star, Shotgun Willie, Dink, Yoda, Jay Simmons, Sure Bro Grows, Collectivist GJ Conley, Aaron the Grower, late 1978, Michigan Grown Buds, Your Boy Warboy, Delta 9, Jay McDaniels, Collectivist 420, Stinky Cola, Dylan Steinfort, PFC Farms, Husky Garden, Sun Grown 707 was in the house tonight. That was pretty cool. J.A. Dro, J420, Cascadian Grows, Tito's McGee, Four Plants 8, Weed Words, Captain Scrog, Skunky Buds, Hans Warrior, Jackie Young, Terry Lee Live, Mike Astor, Tempe, Annie Young, D. Urge, Green Junior, Leon from All Purpose Plus, Green Goose, 11 Smiles 11, Bindu Buds, Michael Ross Plenty. 311 mix of Kinder Grows, Evergreen Haze, G Friends Tree, MMJ, Matt S.A. Bob, Dragonfly Bees, Justin Beds, Travis Walls, Lucky Mike, Seattle Chronic Seeds, Kingdom Chronics, Titan from Blesco Seeds, Wabasso, Shango Gas, Wabasso for Life, John Smith, Tommy Truckle, Smoke King, Raz, Pop Little, Slow Roll, Spiky Pollard, Oscar Green Jr., Matt Stilbert, Into 11, Stephanie B, Shark Bully, 989 by Brown Sovereign Garden, Stoner Nation 420, Tommy Drycombs again. Joe Y Bugs 1313 Grower, Penny Lady, Frank Booth, Jay Myers, Submit to the chat, Mr. Manny D, Bag C, Dr. GGC, Jeff Strutter 911, Dutch Grower 420, Scallywag 420, Skill Bowl 1, Fat Grower 1, Empire Breeding Code, Frogoli, Lossley, Liam Mass, Danny Dako, B Bear 7, Ollie Noble, CK Chomp Trim Dead, Looney Juster, Smoking with Small Town, Tim S, Mr. Lazy Raptor Rose, Rob Automation is Freedom, Robert Hazelton, Door Michigan Core, Double Tap Farms, Mr. Green Thumb 420, 808 Rudy Prospects, the Cannon Bus Driver, Hating Life, Kenny 710, Operation Grow, T Ben, TM 42696, Rude Nuts, Dr. Scrambles, BB Moonbox, GHF Double J Bio Green, Stealth Grower, Hanky Stinky 420, KP Ganja Nana, Your Mama, Georgia Joe, Roy Rodriguez, B Growing, Nature's Best Nug, Killer P Grows, Ganja Wizard, Husky Gardens, Nut Tree 420, Dr. Ooh, Soy Life, Bully Forward Life, the Jeff Rose 42069, Even 690, 698, Dr. Franklin Booty, goddamn my baked head's test. The Rippin' Bat Boy, Jack Greenstock, 420, 420, Boom Farms, Charlie Farms, 420, Aldrich, 25, Smiley's Garden, JD's, Misty's Nug, Smoking Grove Frazier, Grokoski, Twisted Roots, Faded Farm, 420, Jeff Dorowski, Genetic Memory Farms, Evolve, 420, Cameron, Mr. Bagsy, Jill Carter, Mystic Marks, Mystic Grower, Ginger Snaps, DTE, Rose, Rick Wolf, DLP, 2372, Ned Denver, Mike Denver, Sergeant Pepper, 420, Ken Troopers, Blind Cat, 420, Light Up Again, Tim, UKSIF, 420, Boom Boy, Devin, Shipwreck, Medical, FJ, Buttsville, USA, Resurrection Prophet, Chris Martinez, Dankman, 420, Dankman, Dan, Rats of the Farms, Good Luck, Joni Bell, Cheats Feed, Most Hated Grower, the Major General, 420, Iron, the American One, W. Digger, Charates, Kinios, and Lennox, Mountain Skies, Ready, Hit That, Up, Chris Merch, Ian, Save, Robbie, Sergeant Alive, Happy Faye, Can Figure Lates, Finest, Ridge Patch, Doja Moon, Southern BT Grower, Choose Medical, Jerry Bear, +1 Mushroom, Secret, Cindy Pioneers, My Little Tent, 20-foot Judge, Space Walker, Christian, T Mum, T Barrington, Heart, Soul, Homegrown, Mike B, Tweed Dwayne, East Coast Will, Heidi Day, John Smith, Elliptis, My Natural Farms, Pacific Northwest Seeds, Roscott, Paul, Lemon, Hoko, Trench, Rita's Usual Light, 420 Grant Manual, 420 Medic, or Sammy Sizzle, 81, 90 Colas, Chris Moon, DK Trans, Vision, Creator, Guru, Kind Brew, Cannon Nation, J Wires, Rob Bobby, Sean Bids, Road Rescue Ready, Roadside LLC, Notorious Snugs, Magma Seed, Father and Son Trimming Tutorial, Sub T Tank, Jose Ramirez, Perez, Doggo the Hut, 420, Buck Chiba Man, GR 420, Community Videos, Detroit River Rat, Louis Garcia, Monkey P, AJ Everyday, Captive Evidence, Captive Audit, Chat Bob 13, where are you, man? Maine Grower 420, Maine 420 Mad Grower, Cookies Coop, Jay Kendricks, In for the Grill, Captive Audit again, Backwoods All Good, Sally Man, Sal, Adam Skankin, Chanel Simpson, One Smoke Away, Ganja Roach, Kazoo, Aaron Vernon Shrimps, Mr. Lincoln Stinkin, Angel Studios, MG 420 Grow Tent, Paul D. Ella, John Fleming, Dankovich, Foibro, Flower, Polly P. Seldom Seen, Elevated, Lenny, Organic, Sunman, Chiba Sunny, Jeff Popak, Ricardo Sosa, Dan J, Earth Friendly Farming, Candy Forest Farmer, Fuck All That Be, The Misfit Grower, Jason 512, Snake Eyes 5, Northern 4466, Jason Greystone, Stoner Baker, MD, Stony Creek, Russ Onyx, French Dweller, Tarzan Superman, Old Man Herman S, Free Bird, My Old Grower, Matty Gar, The Simple Man, Survival One Time, Tim Blake, Golf Coast, Chronic, Singfed, Caballero, Palero, Gardley, Grow Gent God, Jason Line 512, Steve Collins, Todd Kendricks, Property Maintenance, Sharpie, Dylan, Hayes, Scoop Steve, Speak, JR, Ram, Randy K, Todd or Steve Condor, CCDR, Claire Killian, Wardrobe Farming, Randy Grande, Pip 1000, Ace Blue, 3223, Wake Up, Captain Freedom, Buffer Smile, 50 digits, Mission Ganja, Mooch, Fred G, Hash, Super Bob, Broski 808 Weekend at Bernie's K-Bag, Justice Station, Strong Style Organic, Zippy, iMedic, Honesty, K Hell, Me All Flower, Brent Boo, Todd Kendricks, Newton, KNTK, Chris D20, Bo Times, Bo, Natty Dread, Barbara Matthews, Ancient Soul, Grown, Kevin Jujitsu, Can of Health and Happiness, Berserk 215, Lab Low Cut, Albert Tremblay, Mo Manic, Med, Raspberry, Helen, Huge, Janus, James T, Atomic Spoon, Miss Jill, Big Daddy, LT Gardens, High Flyer, 420, Lobster Brush, Bro, Main Tree, Mother Tree, Maine, Red Pill, your boy, Roy Boy, Aesthetic, Shannon Gibbons, Ruhan, Rick W, comfortably numb, one smoke away, the 840 show, Richard Lamb, Red Pill 710 was in the house, Cannabis Pursuit, K Rolling, Worthy Buzz, Logan Man 81, Oil and Flower Podcast, Entourage Fact, Warren Dixon, Pink Lady Monka, Lug, El Mando 420, surrounded by Keith Ferrari Farms, Ferrari, our French dwellers, single fathers, happiness without guilt, Richard Forbes, David Fermento, B4 P-Funk, Nick T, John Reeds, What About Bob, Prince Patty, Daniel Bergman, Green Puffin Man, B. Doug Lee, James Chung, Sarge Gross, 818, John Wayne, Carolina Roots, Sister Golden Hair, Deanna, LJ Carino, K&F Gardens, Blank 1030, Choose One, Only Feet, Farmer James, Crypto Dope, James, Richard Lamb, HIP Grower, Matt Javine, Dan Marino, Chronic Corners, Sunrise Grows, Top Floor Genetics, Mo Vision 420, K2 Cannabis, Jesse Fisher, My Dog Nelia, Rooster Farms, Alex Hardy, Gear, Mini Cropper, Daniel Rosewater, Minton Grown Meds, Sunrise Grows, Lexi Brittany Coo, My Baby Girls, No Limit 916, Grubby Toad, Alchemist, and Kenna Mix, Soil Born Addiction, Ross, Joe, Alex D, Dirty Or Catfish, High Powered, Thunder Dan, Propagation Station, John McDaniels, Lisa Marie, Sarge Gross 818, Blaze 85, Piper Perpetual, All Eagle Proud Warrior, Sales Smiles for You, Frank Lusada, The Dank Duchess, Kino Black, Kelly Maxwell, Captain 420, Frank Lusada, CFAT, What About Bob Bill Juster, Pop Shrooms, John Gorski, Jen Joe, Dungeon Gangsta, THC4, PATSD, T Barrington, Hunter Grown, Swamp Cat, Polero, Canabinka, Best of Bico, Jen Doe, Mr. Manny D, Kenneth Ferrari, 420 AB Normal, Frank Guerrero, Bear Free, Jay Brent, 74, CK Brown Guy, 420, Pack of Dirt, 420, Gurney Tree, Maine, EA, Grayson, Grow, 207, Hydro Daily, Hempwood, GG, Jamie Rain, Supreme Grape, Sony Rockefeller, Caveman, Cannabis, Brew City, Sin, Hawaii Sustainable, Midnight Roots, Dead, Cynic, Knuckles, Michael P, Holly B, Quick B, Nimble, Bud, Kilowatts, Michael D, 4889, Disbanded Brothers, Macilia, Matt Joseph, Grace Medicine RX, Keith and Chief, Hydro Daily, Concerned American, Ford Cannabis 411, Freedom of Sweet, Dr. Jointsworth, These Trees, Conscious Sudoku, 710 is Oil Upside Down, Jesse Stevenson, Victoria, What About Bob, Sacred Gardens, Gus Gross, Slick Rick, 8 Dog Pounds, Dave in St. Louis, I moved Wild Scott State, Yelly, Ed Bryn, MN Grown, Uncle Elmer, Off Grid Terps, Christmas 54, Last Purpose, Matthew from SoCal, Sioux, Illinois, Command Readers, Jake Proof, Dark Horse, Genetic was in house tonight, Stoner Dude, Joel and Jen for North Star Genetics, Carolina, Mr. Cry, B13 Little Brood Beyond Perfection, XX Elite GP, XX Uncle Stoner, Kishwe Treat Kitchen, Growers Paradise, LAT Grove Gardens, Iceni, Decoy Bacon, Mr. Scotto, Fresh Baked One, Jay Allen, Big Bob Groves, Jolly Canna, Australia Groves, Yucca 420 Gardens was in the house tonight. Daniel Phil, Mr. Nowhere Man, Selling Sally, Silly Seashells, Fuck the Free World, Mr. Mike's 562 Ganja, James Chrysler, Green Ghost, Genetics, Ed Zolo, B. Benson, Astro Charlie, Sativa, Smooth 4, GTC, hey, Dr. Bush Doctor, Dirty Hoe Gardens, TK, James D. Weaver, Grow Ohms, Kohler Gagnon, Green Tree Hunter, Hillbilly Herbs, Tasty Worm Tree, Skunky Brewster, BYF, Larry OG, About Farm, Spartan Grown, Johnny Green Thumb, 710, Michigan Wildflower, 710, Seldom Seen, Gambler, Tom O'Connor, still don't know what the fuck I wrote there, GP 710, what up, Caribou TV, Virginia Herbs, excuse me, Red Primo, Equilibrium, Genetics, Trophy Truck, Skyway, Kevin O'Donnell, School of Crop, Stupid Trucker, last but not least, Weedest 207. I love you guys. You guys know the deal. If this is the end of your day, the beginning of your journey, please get some rest. Have an amazing day. Moreover, please do something nice for yourself. You cannot love others until you completely love yourself. That is fucking very true. With that being said, please do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. I've been picked up, put together more times than I can explain. For real. It's too easy. Compliments, bud sessions, great conversations like we had tonight, phone calls. Please reach out and tell the people that are close to you, you love them. As we talked about earlier, life can be short. Don't leave any doors. Love you guys. I will see you tonight. At this point, I do not have a guest. If you're interested in being a guest, hit me up. I'm more than welcome to have you on the show. I'd like to hear your story. If you know of a guest or somebody you'd like to see on the show, please get a hold of me. I would like to hear your opinions. This is your show, your time as well. Have a great day, guys. I will try my best to be back tonight at 11:30. Hopefully with a wormhole memo.